and her road was always horrible. And I remember following her home one day, and she was just laughing at me when we got there because she said, I just looked in my rearview mirror and you were just bouncing all over the place in your car because I wasn't used to it. And there were these huge ruts in the dirt road, and it was like one of those roads that, like, she was like, okay, if you go past my house, if you miss my house and you turn left, that man will come out at you with a shotgun. And I'm like, oh my God, no.
Welcome to Don't Quit Your Day Job, where three friends run their mouths on the internet. Let's get started.
Hi guys! Welcome back to our channel, Don't Quit Your Day Job. It's good to see you two tonight. How is everyone doing?
Doing good. I'm so happy that today is over. I had a rough day at work, but this is a fun time, so I'm excited to be here.
Me too. I'm excited to be here as well. What about you, Steffi?
Had a great day. Ready to get this started.
How was everyone's weekend?
Mine was boring, so I hung out at home. I was going to go to my parents, but my dad had a little bit of a fever. And so since I have my pre-op appointment for surgery tomorrow, I was like, well, I can't risk that. So I stayed home. I made a start on my mom's birthday cake for this coming weekend. But other than that, I will have a video of decorating a cake at some point, an individual video. But other than that, that's all I had going on.
What about you, Steph? What'd you do?
I went to Polk County, Arkansas, and
Good old Polk County.
did some backwood redneck running around. It was my...
You'll have to insert those pictures that you sent us of the pretty view you had.
We went up, there's a place in Cove near our family's property called Whiskey Peak, and we rode up there, and let me tell you, there's one road that it's only part of it, but like it goes like this, and then it goes like this, and on top of that, it's all washed out, so there's like these huge ditches in there, and so me, who was like, I'm a girl boss, I can do this, got up halfway this way, and I was like, this girl boss knows when to quit and to pass the buck to someone who has done this before. And so pass that on. I drove it on the way home, like on the way back, because I knew what to expect after that. But
yeah,
no.
I remember
like our side-by-side, like went like this. And of course I'm in the driver's seat and I'm like sticking my leg out. Like I can keep this tall truck upright with my little 50-pound leg over here. And yeah, that's when I was like, I'm done.
Growing up around Cedarville, that's where I went to school, Cedarville, Arkansas, everybody. But my best friend lived out in like pretty far out. And her road was always horrible. And I remember following her home one day, and she was just laughing at me when we got there because she said, I just looked in my rearview mirror and you were just bouncing all over the place in your car because I wasn't used to it. And there were these huge ruts in the dirt road. And it was like one of those roads that, like, she was like, okay, if you go past my house, if you miss my house and you turn left, that man will come out at you with a shotgun. And I'm like, oh my God, no. So for this sort of city girl, I mean, I didn't grow up in a big city, but I grew up in town. That was like, oh my God, what do you mean?
What do you mean he pointed a point pew at me?
Yeah.
I do nothing. I turn around.
I'm just an innocent little girl. I'm just trying to find my friend's house. Exactly. I'm just a baby. What about you, Christina?
I went to the first farmer's market of the season, so I had a great time. We got bread and we got flowers for my mother-in-law because we went to her house for Easter. So we did Jason's family's side Easter celebration. So that's over with and that's done. And the kids dyed eggs via science experiment explosion this year. She always does something funky and different as to how they dye eggs. So she dyes eggs that way. I got asked by 4 different people where Monster was. So next time I need to remember to communicate properly.
Like he was at home. He could have gone.
I know. Need to communicate all family functions properly. I did not do so. His grandma was less than enthusiastically thrilled with me about that one.
What do you mean you didn't bring my oldest grandchild?
Yeah, exactly. Especially since like literally the whole family was there. And then on Sunday I went and got ice cream with our mom and dad because there's this cafe, like Walmart has this little 5 and dime store that's no longer 5 and dime, but the ice cream is still super duper duper cheap. You can get like a single scoop for like $1.50. So the ice cream is still super cheap. But we went and did that and then came home, and that was my weekend. It was a nice, relaxing weekend. It was beautiful outside all weekend, so that helped. The first market of the season was a nice temperature. It was a perfect way to start off the market.
I got to get
season.
Murph out to the markets so she can have some socialization again.
Oh,
She
Lots
loves
of
it.
dogs.
I bet she
Lots
just
of dogs at the
licks
market.
up all the pets and adoration.
All the attention. Although she does get a little timid, which is surprising if you know my dog. Like, she does not seem like a timid type, and she's not around the people that she knows and loves, or like one-on-one. But sometimes in the market setting, she gets a little overwhelmed, and she sticks pretty close to me. I've got to take her out before it gets too hot on the pavement and stuff this summer, so get her out before... Get her out
You
there
need to get her some of those booties. Make her walk like this.
You know she would. And you know she'd be mad the whole time going, how do I get this off?
Yeah, I got a little carrier for Reese for the market days. He's like, you like put it on him kind of like a harness.
A baby Bjorn.
And then you just pick it up like a purse. And they just travel in it like that. And I was like, that's perfect.
Poppy would
be my
hate
little
that.
puppy handbag. Probably be heavy. I know she's only like 7 or 8 pounds, but after a while she'd get heavy. He's 3.5, maybe 4 pounds.
Well, I took Poppy a couple of times last summer, and she's too territorial. Too many little kids like ran up and tried to pet her because she's so small and cute. And like I'm afraid she'll bite somebody, not intentionally, but like she had a rough life before me. And so she's just not a market dog. She also like, she's not a walk dog either. I told Jack the other day, we went on a walk the last time he was here. We took Murph. He was like, shouldn't we take Poppy? And I said, Poppy will get to the stop sign at the end of my street and be like, okay, why aren't we home yet? Like, she struts her stuff down at the stop sign and then she's done. She's like, ooh, look at this adventure.
She's got little bitty legs. So
you're like, I can identify.
I can identify, but they messed the whole market up, and they didn't mess it up. The market was still the market, and it was great. But because they're doing all this work downtown in Northwest Arkansas, where I go to the market, they're doing all this work. They've changed where the streets the market's on, and I felt like it's the closest I've ever felt to like a crotchety old lady who's mad that her grocery store changed where the eggs are located. Because I was just like, this isn't how the market has been. This isn't where the market goes. Like, we don't do it this way. It was great. Jace liked it better. So he liked it better, that the flow and stuff. He was like, I like this better. There seemed to be less people at the market. I don't know if they just didn't know that the market was starting.
I didn't know the market started it. So
yeah.
I didn't know the market started this weekend.
Yeah.
So I do know that the Dogwood Festival is coming up in Springdale, or Salem Springs, sorry.
We love the Dogwood Festival. So that must be coming up pretty close because Mom's birthday is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's birthday is Wednesday. What are you working on, Steffi?
Sorry, guys. My ADHD and everything's kind of going wild. So I am paying attention, and this is helping me. So if you see me not looking, it's not because I'm not listening to my ladies here. So I got to focus on something. But it's my iPad cover.
Nice.
I got the back done. But yeah.
Is that raccoon eating pizza?
Yep.
Just checking. Oh, there's a raccoon in my book.
There's a raccoon.
We could talk about that.
There's a
later.
raccoon in Tina's book too.
Oh, there is. There's a raccoon in my book too. I've only heard about this raccoon. I've not seen the raccoon that I'm in the book I'm currently reading yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, are we ready to keep or yeet?
Ready to keep or yeet? Let me be opinionated.
Good. Okay, so I will say that all of these are pretty serious this week. I looked for lighthearted stuff, and just with the way that the world is going and things are going, there's not a ton of lighthearted like keep or yeet. So these are some pretty serious keep or yeet. The first one is there is a New Jersey mayor who is mad at John Bon Jovi. So if you guys don't know this, John Bon Jovi owns a restaurant called Soul Kitchen or JBJ Soul Kitchen, and it's famous for being a pay it forward kitchen. So the thing about it is there is no prices on the menu, just suggested donations. And if you can't afford to pay, you pay what you can or you pay it off with your time. So you like work in the restaurant to pay off your time. Well, he has 4 or 5 locations of this JBJ Soul Kitchen. He's super famous for it in New Jersey. Well, they just had a pop-up one start in, I want to say January of this year, but it might have been in 2024 in Toms River, New Jersey, where there's one permanent location already in Toms River, but there's one now in the Ocean County Library, and it's a pop-up that's lasting until May. And even though there's an end date, and that end date is approaching very quickly, the New Jersey mayor, Roderick of Toms River, New Jersey, decided to run his mouth and say that he called the pop-up restaurant that is not far from a school. So that's what he says. We're busing in a ton of unhoused people too close to a school. It's not a restaurant. It's a soup kitchen, and he wants it gone. So this is what the mayor of New Jersey mayor of Toms River, New Jersey has said.
Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the mayor needs yeeted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because here's my thing. First of all, a library is not only for books. A library is community resource. So why would this not fit into the library's purview? Second of all, why are we not trying to feed and give resources to our unhoused population? Like, that's the least we can do. But also at libraries, they are not only connected to this food through Bon Jovi's kitchen, they're connected to places where they can use the internet to apply for jobs. They can, they can get resources for assistance with like a phone. There's so many things that you can get through your local library.
I agree.
Like, I just don't understand how, as a mayor, you're not thinking community focused. And I'm sorry, those unhoused people are a part of your community. You need to take care of them just as much as your other people.
The claim is that they're not a part of his community, that they're busing in unhoused people from all over the state and other states to use this soup kitchen, and he wants it gone. That's his claim. I'm just throwing it out there, keep or yeet.
Yeet. That guy can yeet his way to the moon for all I care. Care about people.
Yes.
I don't know a lot about the Bible, but I do know that it says that we're supposed to care for our sick and poor. And that's what most of our politicians run based off of, right? Is Christianity as their chosen religion.
A lot of them, yes.
Yep.
I don't know if he's read the Bible. I think he might have read less than me.
So we're going to yeet the mayor and keep John Bon Jovi. And also now, if you're ever in New Jersey and you have, a couple hours to go to this restaurant, I think it's super cool. All the locations that he has of this pay it forward.
Is it like American food? Is it?
I think so.
It's
called Soul Kitchen, so I'm not sure what kind of food it is. My mother-in-law is a huge Bon Jovi head. She loves Bon Jovi. Anytime he comes anywhere near her, she's going to a concert. She's
the reason why I've seen him. So
Jack saw
your
him
mother
this
and
weekend.
father-in-law are the only reason why I've gone to one of his concerts. Not that I don't love him. I do love him.
Yeah, he's
Never
great.
thought I'd see him in concert.
So she wants to go to New Jersey to go to this restaurant. That's how like big of a deal this restaurant is. So
So
I
we're
think
thinking
that's an
like soul
awesome
food.
initiative.
yeah, so I think maybe Soul Food for Soul Kitchen. Yeah, I think it's an awesome initiative, and it's a wonderful charity that John Bon Jovi and his wife run together. And I think that in the description of the YouTube video, we will link something about it. We will link.
I also
something
think
to
that
do.
like that's just like your old time values. Like they used to do that at restaurants when you couldn't pay your tab or you like needed, you know what I mean? Like not that they just gave free food out, but that's where the whole joke now, especially our dad, where he's like, "You gonna go to the kitchen and wash dishes to pay for our tab?" It's because they used to do that. If you couldn't afford to pay, but you needed food.
So our next keeper yeet is a little bit lighter. We're going to go light, heavy, light. And it's about Walmart. And Walmart has started a beauty box for $6.99 every 3 months. It's a seasonal beauty box. You get like 5 or 6 mini beauty products inside this box. So it's definitely worth more than the $7 that you're paying. You get it every 3 months, like I said, seasonally. So it's not just about Walmart's beauty box. A, what do we think about big box stores starting beauty boxes like that? But B, what do we think about box subscriptions in general? They are everywhere. I looked up box subscription for this Keep It or Yeet It, and they're everywhere. There's the Ipsy box for $14 a month. There's the FabFitFun box for $299 annually. There's book subscription boxes. You can get one for adult. You can get one for fantasy. You can get one for thriller fiction. Anything you want, you can get for a set price. You never know what's in the box. Is it fun because you don't know? Is it a waste of money? What do we think? Keep or yeet. Walmart doing a beauty box subscription, and then box subscriptions in general.
What do you think, Steph?
I like Walmart's beauty box because it's mostly skincare and the like of that. That's something I will use or at least try out. And it's easy to like give away, especially to my students if I don't like it. I've done, is it Ipsy, the makeup one? I did that for a few months. And it was really nice to get like new products and new things I never thought about trying before. But I don't use that much makeup that quickly. So I felt like it was kind of wasteful. So I think overall, I don't think beauty or that subscription boxes are a bad thing. I just think it has to be something that you are going to use or can repurpose. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of junk that you're going to end up throwing away and it's going to end up in a landfill somewhere, you know?
That's kind of where I'm leaning. Like, I want to say that they're not bad, but at the same time, also, am I going to love the book? That there's one box subscription called Book of the Month where you get to pick the book. And that book subscription box I can get behind because I know what's coming. But the ones that are like, you don't know what's in the box, whether it be makeup, whether it be skincare, whether it be whatever FabFitFun is, you know, lifestyle stuff. It's all like I just see a giant landfill of all this stuff just piled in on itself over and over and over. And so I wonder, is it really a keep or is it consumerism at its finest for the Yeet?
Yeah, I think especially like long term. I think if you do it if you did the annual one for a year, or if you did, I think if there's a finite deadline, then or like time frame, then that makes more sense because you're not just like, I'm never going to use all the bags and all the like whatever that FabFitFun is going to send me. I'll be honest, my makeup routine most of the time consists of about seven items other than my skincare. And so like, it's just pretty chill. Like I'm not normally like a super full face kind of person. So I think things, I'm so particular. Losing my headphones. I'm so particular about my taste in things that I want I want to be able to pick it. Like, I don't want something super floral. I'm not a super floral person. I don't want something, like I want to be able to choose what pattern it is. I think at the end of the day, for me, it's a yeet, because like I've tried it, but the ones that I've gotten, I've not been totally bowled over by the things that I've received. So for me, it's a yeet. I think the Walmart one is worthwhile because it's so affordable, and every 3 months. So like $6.99 every 3 months. And it's skincare, and it's like, that's a way to try out some skincare at an affordable price. Because I mean, like, you're going to spend $12 on one item a lot of times, even at the drugstore or at Walmart. So I think that one is worth it. But I think if you're paying for much more than that, and again, I think I need a timeline. So I think Walmart, keep the beauty box, but overall subscriptions, I could probably eat them.
I think I'm the same way. Most subscription boxes I'm going to eat too, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
So this next one is very sad. So I'm warning everybody, it's a downer. It's a downer. Debbie Downer. It involves Wendy Williams, who is known, by those who don't know her, she's known for her 2000s talk show host. Before that, she was on the radio in LA and in Atlanta. But she's known for her 2000s talk show, The Wendy Williams Show, where she had hot takes on celebrities all the time. She was funny, outgoing, would ask the in-depth questions right there on her couch. She did it for years. She is now in a guardianship, aka pretty much a conservatorship, and has been in one since 2022. Some people claim that she has dementia and aphasia. She would say that she's cognitively fine. The thing that brought this to the internet's attention is she wrote "Help Wendy" on a Post-it note and then slid it out the second story window of her, as one article called "Bougie Assisted Living," still an assisted living home. She's only 60 years old. Assisted living home's window, and dropped it down to the ground where people found it, and they called the cops. And so she was taken out for a mental evaluation. So she is currently locked in an assisted living center. She claims that she's not allowed to see friends or family. Her conservatorship is under that of an attorney, not under anyone in her family. She's under an attorney. So it's more than just Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, like I said, they say she has aphasia and dementia. She claims she's fine cognitively. She has been seen out they say, evading her nursing home, where she's living in a memory care ward, which is for people with dementia. But it's more than just Wendy Williams. What do we think about conservatorships in general, especially celebrity conservatorships and guardianships, and them as a whole?
I think, first of all, can we yeet whatever reporter called it a bougie assisted living facility?
We can.
Nobody wants to be there. We're yeeting
Also,
them.
she's freaking rich. She can afford it. Why?
Right.
If you're going to spend the rest of your life somewhere, don't you want it to be nice?
Right. No, I think
condescending.
Conservatorships are, to me, like, that's like the most extreme situation. Like, I mean, we saw what happened with Britney Spears. We saw that she was, and I get that this is a lawyer and not someone in her family, not her management. Like, I guess it's slightly different, but it still feels, and I could see someone with dementia and aphasia, they do tend to get confused. They do tend to think that things are happening that aren't happening. They do tend to try to escape. I know that some assisted living facilities and memory care units like paint murals on exit doors so that they don't look like exit doors, so that the residents don't try to get out of those. So like, I could see that, like, maybe she's not necessarily the most reliable source, but also, like, that's a really delicate situation. And it's really challenging to say, yes, these are like worth it or no, because I think they can be abused so easily. Like Britney Spears was on antipsychotics that you're not supposed to be on long term for over a decade. Of course, that's going to mess with your brain and that's going to change like your personality and do things. They know that those drugs, while useful in their purpose, if misused, can cause serious problems. So I just think they can be abused so easily. I also think it's interesting. I've never heard of a male celebrity in a conservatorship. You know, Liam Payne clearly had drug issues and mental health issues, and he was not in a conservatorship. You know, I wonder if
Lamar Odom died at Bunny Ranch, and he was not in a conservatorship.
Yeah, so I think that's interesting. There's like medical power of attorney. There's legal power of attorney. Like, I think that is a little different. Like, my mom and my aunt have power of attorneys over my grandmother. My mom has like her medical power of attorney. My aunt has her like financial power of attorney. So, but my grandma is a single woman who's 90 years old, who had lived with my grandfather. They were married for 65 years. She does have some memory problems. She still lives alone, but my aunt and my mom help take care of her. So they make sure her bills are paid. They make sure that she gets to the doctor. They make sure that she has that care she needs. So I think I think to me that makes more sense than a full-blown conservatorship in most cases.
Yeah.
And I think like in the case of like a judge, because a judge has to put on a conservatorship, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I think the judge also has to consider the dynamic of the relationships. They can do some digging. Like, I think it's their due diligence to do some digging into those relationships. Like, Britney Spears' dad clearly should not have had conservatorship over her. He was clearly abusing it. He was clearly taking her money. He was clearly like not doing great things for her at the time that she went into the conservatorship. You know, I think that should also be considered. So I feel like overall I'm a yeet, and I'm more in favor of like power of attorney. Give people the real help they need, but when you take away all their autonomy, I don't think that helps anybody either.
So there's no way. So as someone who spent a long time in the health field, I'm no longer in it, but I did spend a long time in it. There is no way to not take someone's civil liberties within a conservatorship. You're taking away their autonomy, their bodily autonomy. There's no way to not take away things that you fundamentally people believe just are rights that other people should have, regardless. So that's not possible. And I'm with you on power of attorney usually being enough. Like, these conservatorships are extreme. And at the end of the day, this attorney's still getting paid to do this conservatorship. So there's still a financial gain. Nobody's doing this from the bottom of their heart. So she doesn't want, from what I've heard, she doesn't want Wendy Williams reevaluated. So Wendy Williams called into The View and was cognizant on The View, seemed fine when she was speaking to the hosts of The View. And then the attorney is claiming, well, that's because it was scripted speech. She's fine as long as it's scripted speech. It's with other speech that she's not okay. And so like that then becomes kind of, I overall am a yeet of all conservatorships. Even if Wendy Williams, here's the deal. If I have dementia, she's nowhere near the stage of dementia, which involves a memory ward unit. I can tell you that. Like, just she's able to speak and not ask you like questions. She's nowhere near there. Two, I think they should get to spend their money however they want to. And that is what it always feels like it comes down to me, is like people feel that they're spending their money. Britney Spears is spending her money inappropriately. She's doing with it in a way that other people view that she shouldn't be doing it. And I think that you should be able to to decide not to sing anymore, or decide to do a 17-year residency, or decide to spend your money on a zoo in the middle of Nebraska, if that's what you want to do with your life. Like, I think that that's what it comes down to, is people see the money slipping away and they freak out that the train that has been feeding them is going to be gone. And then they put women in these conservatorships. And I think that the paparazzi played a huge part in Britney Spears' mental breakdown, which was the equivalent. I've never shaved my head, but I can say that I have felt very overwhelmed and very frazzled. Like I said, never to the point that I've shaved my head, but I've also never had people storming my car trying to take pictures of me while I just wanted to get my kid some McDonald's chicken nuggets either. That's never happened to me either. So I will say that overall, I'm going to say in 99.9% of cases, I'm a conservatorship. And I think Wendy Williams deserves her autonomy back, even if she has aphasia. Because guess what? She had Bruce Willis has aphasia, if he hasn't passed away. Has Bruce Willis passed away? I know it's like,
I don't think so.
It's coming.
He can't. I don't think he can speak anymore. But
yeah, not in a conservatorship. Not in a conservatorship.
And clearly has people around him who care about him and are taking care of him.
Yes.
I think that's what it comes down to, is I just don't understand. I don't understand not doing that for people in your life.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. So what's your thoughts, Stephanie? We've both spoken a ton about it.
I'm with you. I think that it's definitely a yeeted situation. I think that if it has to be something that exists, then I think that it has to have an end date that needs to be reevaluated by new people each time. Like, I don't think it should be the same judge, the same history. Like, I think it's somebody who has to go in and look at all the case, has to go in and get new tests run to make sure that everything's legit, and then recertify the conservatorship, like, each time. Like, I don't think that it can just be, here's indefinite. The conservatorship. Let me know if you want to change it.
Mm-hmm.
No. I feel like social services or something needs to be involved, as far as like somebody checking and making sure everything's above board financially, physically, mentally, like all that jazz. Like, I don't think it should just be a free reign situation.
I love that idea. You got to go get a new driver's license every 6 years or whatever. You might as well need to go get your quicker than 6 years. You know, in Arkansas, at 6 years, you got to go get your driver's license. But if you have to get your driver's license reinstated, I think for sure a conservatorship being looked at every 2 years. But I think that
like she totally deserves to be able to get a second opinion medically. Mm-hmm. She should be able to seek another psychiatrist, another, doctor, and have other evaluations. And I think that, I think, Stephanie, that's a genius idea, honestly.
I do too.
That should be how they are run if they are going to happen.
I don't know, obviously, exactly what all happened with her, but I do remember her being on her show and just stopping, mid-show, and, she just had that look on her face, like she just didn't know where she was or what she was doing. I think she almost passed out at one point. And it was concerning. And that's when it all started. I think it needs to be reevaluated. She's probably on medication. She's probably under a doctor's care. And she could be functional again, where she can take care of herself. And I need to know why none of her children, I don't remember if she was still married or not. I know she was married at one point. Now. But has why sisters. There's no family at all involved in this, or at least none that are speaking that they are involved in it. So it's just really weird to me.
Yeah, she's claiming that she can't see any family right now, that she doesn't have access to an iPad or anything to FaceTime family or friends. That's what her niece is claiming. So she has several sisters, and a niece is claiming the same thing, that she got in trouble for trying to get her aunt to take her to dinner out of the assisted living center because of this conservatorship. So
correct me if I'm wrong. You used to work in like nursing care, long-term care.
I did.
Don't you kind of have to give residents whatever they ask for? I mean,
not residents in conservatorships, which
you have to get permission.
Which are incredibly rare, even in a nursing home. And she's a step below a nursing home, which is assisted living. So people leave. So we did not work in assisted livings, but I do know a lot about assisted livings. People leave assisted livings all the time. Like, essentially, any place that is a 55 and older retirement center is an assisted living. Like, you can go every single day. We had grandparents who lived in what is essentially a retirement home assisted living center. There were nurses there that in case you needed help taking your medications or to be reminded of, or you needed a chef to cook your meals, that stuff occurred and happened. We've had grandparents who lived in one of those. So, like, we have a grandmother who is trying to get into an apartment at a 55 and over living center, which will have the same care and function around it. So it's just... she should be able to leave to go to dinner, but because of the conservatorship, she can't. And that's why I yeet conservatorships. I feel like there's a 1 in a million case that needs to be used, but for some reason, it seems to happen to a lot of women celebrities with a certain amount of money that seem a little bit like maybe they aren't making the choices that other people would make. And that's not my business to make. I did not do all the hard, dedicated work of years on the radio and TV to make the money to decide that she gets to spend it how she wants to, or the years of dancing on a stage 6 nights a week.
I mean,
for sold
Michael
out
Jackson wasn't in a conservatorship, and he was dangling babies off balconies and
yep,
exactly,
all kinds of crazy stuff that was getting caught. So
I think we are all yeeted.
Yep.
It's a yeet.
It's a yeet.
Okay.
The only one that's safe is Bon Jovi.
Okay, so our final one is about the Minecraft movie, but it's really about this trend in general of people deciding to do things at movie theaters. So what has happened, let me explain what has happened. The Minecraft movie came out and it started an internet phenomenon where kids would yell out lines of the movie as the movie is occurring, like famous lines to the screen. This happened with Wicked, where people would start singing songs as the Wicked characters are singing them out loud. This happened with Minions, where people would dress up as a Minion and come in full Minion costume and say Minion lines to the Minion movie. So kids were caught throwing popcorn and yelling lines at a movie theater in New Jersey so badly that it is now this New Jersey's theater's stance that anyone under the age of 18 cannot come see the Minecraft movie without an adult present with them. They have to have an adult 1-to-1. I don't know if it's 1-to-1. You can probably bring your 2 kids. You're the adult for both those kids. But you have to have an adult present to bring kids to see the Minecraft movie. Another theater chain that I think is in the UK. I did not recognize the name of the theater chain. I didn't write it down. So another theater chain. They are now having special what is called Chicken Jockey XD Chicken Jockey XD showings, where you can come to the showing and you can throw the popcorn and you can scream the lines and you can come fully dressed up in suits to see the Minecraft movie. So thoughts on this new phenomenon, which is not new because if we think about it, there were Rocky Horror Picture showings where they threw toast and newspapers and midnight showings where they opened the umbrella, all of that. Our parents participated in that back in the day. So this resurgence phenomenon of people being disruptive at movie theaters.
So I used to live in Springfield, and we had an Alamo Draft House. They are based out of Austin, and they have special event showings. If you're at a special event showing that is a sing along, that is rowdy, or whatever that theater chain in Europe is doing, great, go for it. But if I paid to go see this movie and I'm trying to watch Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo belt their hearts out, and Joe Schmo next to me starts belting his heart out, I'm going to be real pissed off. Like, I'm going to yeet him. Because why? Like, no, I didn't pay to see you sing or hear you sing. I paid to watch this movie in a theater, and I paid to see the people who were paid good money, who are talented to do it. If you want to sing along, go to a special showing, or like petition your theater for a special showing for a sing along, or whatever. Like, that's fine. I don't care. But like, if you're in a regular showing, if you're disrupting if you're disrupting other moviegoers' experience, no, I think you're in the wrong. And I don't care if you're a kid. Like, that's just my stance on it. Like, I mean, you know me. Sometimes you're too loud in a movie theater for me. I'm like, shut up. Like, and that's my cranky old lady, but that's fine. I'm paying my money for this. I should be able to get what I paid for. So that's my stance. I'm yeeted on them just being disruptive. The costumes, I don't care. Wear your costumes. But if I get hit in the head with some popcorn and you're singing along, I'm not here to listen to you. I'm here to watch this movie.
Okay, so Stephanie, are you a keep it or are you a yeet it?
Well, I think I differ than Julia for different reasons. So for me, people being involved in the movie and like interacting with it, I feel like is just the risk you take going to a public space. Like that's something, if you want peace and quiet and like have control over what's happening, then you're going to have to do that at home. And now in our society, that's an option where it wasn't before. Like if it was before streaming services, I would say absolutely. Like there's got to be some kind of decorum. But like right now with our theaters being in such danger of us losing them because of streaming services, I think that there's going to have to be some give or take. Do I think they need to be throwing popcorn? Absolutely not. Do I think they need to be jumping over seats and acting like fools? Absolutely not. Your parents should
Don't let your
know
12-year-old go
well
to the
enough
movie theater by themselves.
Yeah, like, no way. Like, if you're 15 and above, sure. But, like, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old, heck no. You're going to have to be supervised, you know? And, like, it just, that's my difference on it. Like, I guess I would be more of a keep it and not an all around, like, don't be an ass. Yeet the making yourself look like an idiot, like, as far as destruction of property and just being gross, sure. But I think that, and it's, again, I also come from this where I'm surrounded by children of that age range every day, and they are just raised in a different way than us. They don't, like, even me as a millennial parent of a 17-year-old, oh my God. He's 17, guys. You know, when we went to movies, like I set expectations and stuff, but a lot of these kids, especially the 13, 14-year-old like range, when they were learning that kind of societal like expectations or whatever, theaters were closed. Yeah. Or there was 30 people in a theater that could have 100 people in it. So it's, they just didn't learn. And I'm not going to lie and say that I wouldn't have thought about, like, that wouldn't have been my first thought. My 13-year-old going to a movie theater, I would have been like, yeah, go. I wouldn't have thought, oh, wait, from the age of 9 to 13, they had no idea how to behave in this public space. at all.
I think that's a valid point. Like the theaters, like you've got to do what you got to do. I do want movie theaters to stay open. So I do think that's totally valid. I just wish they would have like, and first for a kids movie, I think it's different. Like I think the Minecraft movie, I have a different view on that than Wicked necessarily. Like I think it kind of depends on the movie too, but that is a valid point that I hadn't considered. So I'll concede there.
I fall probably pretty close to Stephanie, where I keep some of it and yeet some of it. I yeet parents who think it's okay to send your small children. This New Jersey, definitely these boys seem to be too young to be at a movie theater by themselves. Parents go to, I understand it's not going to be your favorite movie of all time. It's not going to be something you maybe even want to do, but if you want your kid to go experience it, sometimes you just need to be present for it too. And so for that, I am there. And I do think that movie theaters should do more special event showings. Like, I think that they should, because of the fact that, like, we've got to do something to keep theaters alive. And so.
Yeah, they need to adapt just like we have to adapt. And
yeah,
that's something
that's
they
why
have to consider.
I love
now.
Alamo. And that's my plug for the Alamo, or just any like theater like that in general. But I love they have like a bar attached, which is not only a bar, but they have food. Like you can get food during your movie, and it's delicious food, by the way. You can get drinks, alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Obviously you got to show ID, whatever. But there's a trivia night at the bar there, and it was great. Though we would go with my work in Springfield, but they always had these special movie showings, and I loved. Also, I think they were called movie parties, but they would also show older movies sometimes. Like near Halloween, they showed like The Witches. They would show just like older movies, like that you want to see, that they're fun to watch in theaters. They would bring those back, and I think that is a clever idea that that theaters need to adopt. Like. They've set out a pretty nice like game plan for you. Follow it. I'm really disappointed. We were supposed to get one in Northwest Arkansas, and the property went up for sale again. So I don't think we're getting one.
Oh, that's a bummer. I would love to see Hocus Pocus back in theater and like watch it in theaters again. That would be awesome to be able to see Hocus Pocus.
And they do that, and they do movie parties for like what's the one you talked about earlier? The throwing toast.
Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
They do Rocky Horror Picture Show. They also do like different cult classics, and they have movie parties, and they encourage people to dress up and go. And like, I just think that's the way to do it.
I agree.
Yeah,
and then they can have. Go ahead.
I just don't think you can keep with the same old. Like if we're trying to draw in crowds and keep them from staying home where they can monitor how loud or how obnoxious they are or are not, then you're gonna have to figure something out. You're gonna have to do a PJ night. You're gonna have to it's gonna have to be a social event, because that's really the only reason why people leave their houses anymore, is if it's a social event. Like, even kids.
I completely agree.
They don't just go and run around anymore. They usually only go if they got something to do. So
that's a good point. So that was our last Keep It or Eat It, which means it's time for the Rec Room.
Welcome to the Rec Room.
Julia, why don't you rec first this week?
Okay. My rec this week is Story of My Life. It's the first book in the Story Lake series by Lucy Score. Her other series that I've read was a trilogy. I sort of assume that's what this is going to be, but I don't know for sure. But the main character, Hazel, is an author, a romance author, a contemporary romance author, which is my jam. So, but she has gone through a bad breakup, a divorce. And so she is having a hard time writing, especially the series that she is currently contracted to write. She also has to move out of her New York City apartment because technically her husband got that in the divorce. So on a whim, one night she is online and sees a house for sale in this random town called Story Lake. And so she buys it. She's like looking at what she has in her account and she's like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Her best friend is her agent. I think it's her agent. And so she drags her along with her. And then she's in this town and she kind of gets drug into being involved in the community. Very Hallmark-esque. The house that she buys is not quite in the same condition that it was advertised to be. She has a raccoon roommate that she has dubbed Bertha, who continues to find her way in. Her best friend moved out of the house when Bertha decided to share her bedroom. So lots of fun, lots of laughs, lots of like heartwarming moments. I loved it. I would say it's like a 4.5 for me. I do like Lucy Score's writing. I've read some of her Knock 'Em Out series I also really like. But it's a 4.31 on Goodreads. It came out this year, so it's very new, but I think it's definitely worth a read.
Perfect.
Awesome.
What about you, Stephanie? What's your rec for the week?
I'm going to rec one of my podcasts that I've mentioned on here several times, and that would be And That's Why We Drink. It is a two-host podcast where M is usually the first one up, and they talk about like supernatural things. So anywhere from haunted prisons to possessions to, the Fresno Nightcrawler, like anything like that. M will talk about something along those lines. And Christine, who would be the second host, she's our true crime host, I guess you would say. And so hers would always be some kind of true crime like case that she would bring up. And there you will have to like people who ramble and just talk about random things and like interrupt themselves to talk about random things. If that's your jam, then this podcast is for you. So
cool.
It's on YouTube. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify. It's everywhere.
So my rec, as the last one, is an artist. He has about 7 million views a month on Spotify, so I would not call him new by any means, but not super taken off yet. His name is Cameron Whitcomb, and he's a folk artist. And the reason that I absolutely love him, he's probably best known for his like TikToks. You see him a lot on TikTok singing parts of his songs. He does collaborations with other people. You did a Nick D. You wrecked Nick
Connor
D
Price.
recently.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Price. He did a collaboration with Connor Price. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So he collabed with Connor Price. And my thing about him is, for people who don't know, I'm on a sobriety journey. And so I have been sober for several years now. And he speaks a lot about sobriety in his folk music. And so it speaks very highly to me about that sobriety journey and how hard it is. And sometimes how much you don't want to be on it, or how much it's the only thing saving your life. And so he's absolutely wonderful. I would recommend all of his music. It's Cameron Whitcomb. And so I absolutely love him. So that is he's not coming. He's at an Alabama. He's doing some stops in Alabama, and then he's going overseas to Europe this summer. So he's nowhere near us, or I would be dragging the two of you to see him. But
That's
he is
You wouldn't have to drag me. I love his music.
He's a co-rec right
Co-rec.
there. Co-rec.
I don't know him, but I like most of the people who collab with Connor Price, so I'm sure he's great.
So that is my recommendation. So now it's on to the game, which Miss Julia is doing tonight. So Miss
I feel like I have somehow been dubbed the game master of this podcast. So today we're going to play Fast Money, like on so Christina, I'm going to ask you to take your headphones out for this round so you cannot hear the questions or answers. And Stephanie, will start with you. So you have...
So she can't read my lips.
Oh. I was like, what are we doing? Okay. Now I feel like I need to do it so she can't see me.
Now Christina looks ridiculous.
She does.
Her eyes are closed.
All right. So you have... can you put 20 seconds on the clock for me?
Second timer, 25 seconds, starting now.
All right. Name something you do before going to bed.
Pee.
Okay. Name a fruit that's used in a dessert.
Strawberries.
Name something you might find in a backpack.
Notebooks.
Name something you associate with vampires.
Teeth.
Name a popular pizza topping.
Pepperoni.
Alexa, stop.
She can read lips, guys. Okay, I'm not being ridiculous. She's really good at reading lips. Look at her. Look at her. She knows. She knows.
Laughing.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go over your answers real quick. Christina, you still got headphones out?
Yeah, they're out.
Okay. So the goal is for you guys to get 100 points combined, and you did pretty good, although you did not get one of the answer. Oh, you did. You got use the bathroom. So 11 points for number one.
Okay.
Strawberry, you got 28 points.
What?
Notebook, you got the number one answer at 30 points.
What?
Vampires, fangs, or teeth, you said you got 30 points. We might have to up your percent or your goal because I think you're going to hit it.
Yeah.
Pizza topping, you said pepperoni. 42 points. I think we're going to have to go like 200. What's your total right now?
I have 141 points.
We're going to have to go for 200. All right.
Yeah.
You're up, Christina.
You go. It's you go. You go.
I'm back.
Welcome.
We're going to look stupid because we were going, put your headphones on.
Put them on.
It's your turn. All righty. Well, can you set a 30-second timer for me, Stephanie?
You said 30 second?
Yep.
That's 30 minutes. Give me this.
So it's a little tougher, so you get a little more time.
Okay. Oh, no.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Go.
Name something you do before going to bed.
Face routine.
Okay. Name a fruit that's used in a dessert.
Banana.
Name something you might find in a backpack.
Homework.
Name something you associate with vampires.
Teeth.
Try again.
Sucking blood.
Name a popular pizza topping.
That's your time.
Pineapple.
All right. You might not get
popular, not hated.
So we upped your thing because Stephanie, I was originally only going to make you guys get 100 points, but Stephanie got like 141 points on her turn. So we upped it to 200, but you might struggle with this. So let's see. Question 1. Name something you do before going to bed. You said face routine. That is not one of the answers, so 0 points. Name a fruit that's used in a dessert. Banana was the number 3 answer at 18 points. Name something you might find in a backpack. Homework is not on the list.
How's
Notebook.
homework not on the list?
Notebook, pen, pencil, water bottle,
Yeah, it was like
laptop, snack are the things that
it's
were
looking for
answered.
objects that you can.
Oh.
Anyway,
Name something you associate with vampires. Yo, you did get blood, so you might get to 200 because blood was the number one answer. 40 points. And name a popular pizza topping. I'm sorry to tell you that pineapple is not on the list. So
I was going to
points.
say pepperoni, but I couldn't think of it.
Well, definitely said pepperoni, so you would have had to try again.
we are 1 point shy at 199.
199.
Dang.
Ain't that the pits, y'all? Ain't that the pits?
What was the number one answer for getting ready for bed? Is it brush your teeth?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get that. I got go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you were the last one on the list. So it's brush your teeth, set your alarm, watch TV, read a book, use the bathroom, or the answers, the top 5 answers. Fruits were apple, strawberry, banana, cherry, peach. I already said the school supply.
Which one did you get,
one.
Stephanie?
She said strawberry.
Strawberry.
I almost
Blood.
said apple. We would have gotten it.
Blood and fangs were the top 2 answers for vampire, so you guys both got those. And then popular pizza topping pepperoni is number 1. Cheese, sausage, mushrooms, and onions are the next ones.
That was
fun,
fun.
though.
That was a lot of fun.
I always loved Family Feud and Fast Money. Fast Money was my favorite part, but also just like the wild answers that people give, and then their family's trying to be supportive, so they're like, good answer, and you're like, no, it wasn't.
I was on Family Feud. They'd never cut to me because I'd be like, good job.
They'd never cut to me because I'd be given all the inappropriate answers. Let's be completely honest.
Oh, no, they would always cut to you for the inappropriate answers.
Me and Steve Harvey, best of friends.
Probably, actually.
So.
You do like a mustachioed man.
I do love a mustachioed man. A different mustachioed man, but I do love a mustachioed man. But thanks for hanging out with us today. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and connect with us on our social medias at Don't Quit Your Day Job Pod. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you're currently reading, watching, or listening to. And then until next time, keep it cozy, keep it fun, and don't quit your day job unless you really want to.